The 2026 World Cup will not just be a tournament filled with star players, massive matches, and unforgettable moments. This time, the rules on the pitch will also change. At the 2026 World Cup, new technologies and new rules designed to increase the tempo of the game will come into play. In this tournament, football will not be shaped only by talent, tactics, and physical power. It will also be shaped by technology, data, and a new set of rules. Long delays that slow down the rhythm of matches, controversial moments, and attempts to waste time will no longer be as easy as before. One of the biggest changes will come in offside decisions. In past tournaments, we were used to long VAR delays, lines being drawn on the screen, the same position being watched again and again, and fans waiting for minutes to hear the final decision. Now, this may happen much less often. Automated offside technology, high-speed cameras, and ball sensors will work together to analyze positions almost in real time. So, is a player's shoulder, knee, foot, or any other part of the body that can legally score a goal ahead of the defensive line? To determine this, it will no longer be enough to rely only on the referee's judgment or on VAR officials manually drawing lines. Advanced tracking systems will instantly follow the player's positions on the pitch and help make offside decisions faster, clearer, and more accurate. This could be especially important in big matches. In a tournament like the World Cup, even one offside decision can change the fate of an entire country. That is why at the 2026 World Cup, technology will not simply be a supporting tool. It will become a factor that can directly affect the destiny of the game. But the technology does not stop there. Sensors placed inside the ball will also track some of the most critical moments in the match. These sensors will be able to measure the ball's position and the exact moment of contact with millisecond precision. This means it will be much clearer when a player touches the ball, who made the final contact on a shot, and exactly when the offside line should be drawn. So what does this mean? When a cross is made, the first moment of contact with the ball, a defender's intervention, the exact second a forward starts a run, or the moment the ball changes direction on a shot toward goal can now be analyzed with much more precise data. In the past, these moments depended on camera angles, the referee's interpretation, or the judgment of the VAR room. Now, technology will stand at the center of the process. Football is slowly moving away from being a game watched only by the human eye. It is becoming a game that is measured, tracked, and analyzed instantly through data. Every run, every sprint, every contact, every pass, and every position we see on the pitch can now be recorded in far greater detail. And this will not only change refereeing decisions, it will also change the viewing experience. A player's speed, sprint distance, physical workload, movement on the pitch, and energy spent throughout the match can be tracked in real time. We will be able to see more clearly how much a player runs, how fast he sprints, when he starts to get tired, and at which stage of the match his physical level begins to drop. This data can also be shown on the broadcast screen. Viewers will no longer just watch who has the ball or how an attack develops. They will also be able to see how much distance a player has covered during the match, how fast he sprinted, how many times he ran behind the defense, and how much physical pressure he is under. This will also make football analysis deeper. It will no longer be enough to judge a player's performance only by goals, assists, or pass accuracy. His movement on the pitch, pressing intensity, recovery speed in defense, and physical endurance will also become more visible to the audience. This will give football fans a richer, more detailed, and more modern viewing experience. The fan experience could also change in a major way. The 2026 World Cup may be a different kind of tournament not only for those watching on television, but also for fans following the match inside the stadium. A fan in the stands will not only watch the match from their seat, at the same time they may be able to watch plays from different angles on their phone, follow live data, and access special content about the match. Watching the replay of a goal chance from a different angle, seeing a player's stats instantly, or accessing tactical data from a match could become much easier. But the changes at the 2026 World Cup will not be limited to technology. New rules will also come into play to increase the tempo of the game. One of the biggest problems in modern football is time wasting. For years, people have discussed how the game slows down unnecessarily during throw-ins, goal kicks, substitutions, and injury stoppages. That is why, according to decisions made by IFAB, referees will use a 5-second countdown for throw-ins and goal kicks. This rule is designed to restart the game faster and prevent teams from wasting time. From now on, a team will not be able to wait too long on the touchline just to protect a lead. Goalkeepers will also not be able to slow the game down on goal kicks as easily as before. If a throw-in is not taken in time, the ball will go to the opposing team. This could create major pressure, especially in the final minutes of a match. Players will now have to think not only about the right pass, but also about the clock. A delay of just a few seconds could cause the ball to be handed to the opponent. A similar situation will apply to goal kicks. If a goal kick is delayed, the opposing team will win a corner kick. This looks like a very strict rule. Delaying a goal kick could suddenly give the opponent a dangerous set-piece opportunity. In a tournament like the World Cup, where even the smallest details can lead to huge consequences, this rule could affect the outcome of matches. So, wasting time will no longer be as easy as it used to be. These rules will be especially important for teams that take the lead. In the final stages of a match, slowing the game down, breaking the rhythm, and running down the clock are strategies often used in modern football. But at the 2026 World Cup, this strategy will be seriously limited. There will also be a time limit for substitutions. Substitutions will now have to be completed much faster. A substitution must be completed within 10 seconds. If this time limit is exceeded, the player coming into the game will have to wait at least 1 minute until the match stops again. During that time, his team will play with one fewer player on the pitch. This rule will create a new strategic detail for coaches. Substitutions will no longer be only tactical moves, they will also become decisions that must be managed carefully in terms of timing. If a substitution is made too slowly, or if the player leaving the pitch takes too long, the team may be temporarily short-handed, and that could be very risky, especially during heavy pressure. There will also be a new procedure when the game stops because of an injury. A player who gets injured and leaves the pitch will have to wait 1 minute before returning to the field. The purpose of this rule is very clear: to prevent the game from stopping unnecessarily and to stop injury breaks from being used as a way to waste time. Of course, real injuries are a natural part of football, but in some matches, people often debate whether players stay down to slow the tempo or give their team a chance to breathe. This new rule could make players and teams more careful in those situations. Having to wait before returning to the pitch could force a team to play short-handed for a short period of time. The scope of VAR is also expanding. From now on, VAR will not only be used for goals, penalties, direct red cards, and mistaken identity, it may also be used for incorrect corner decisions and second yellow cards. This could have very critical consequences, especially in major matches. A corner decision may sometimes look like a small detail, but at World Cup level, one corner can become the most important moment of the match. A set-piece routine, a header, a defensive mistake, and then a goal. A wrongly awarded corner could even cause a team to be eliminated from the tournament. That is why allowing VAR to step in during these situations could increase the sense of fairness in matches. Second yellow cards are just as important. When a player receives a second yellow card and is sent off, it can change the entire balance of the match. The team can go down to 10 players, the tactical plan can collapse, and control of the game can completely shift to the opponent. For this reason, VAR checks on second yellow cards could reduce the impact of refereeing mistakes. But how these changes will affect football is still a major question. On one side, the goal is to create fairer decisions, a faster game, and less time wasting. On the other side, some people may question whether the natural flow of football will be interrupted too much by technology. After all, part of football's beauty is hidden in its rhythm, its emotion, and its instant decisions. That is why the 2026 World Cup will not only test the teams on the pitch, it will also test the future of football itself. Referees, players, coaches, and fans will all have to adapt to this new system. Some teams may adjust to these rules quickly, others may struggle with time management, substitutions, and the tempo of the game. In short, the 2026 World Cup will not be a tournament where only footballers take the stage. Technology, data, new rules, and the modern understanding of football will also be major parts of that stage. Faster decisions, less wasted time, more data, deeper analysis, and perhaps the most technological World Cup we have ever watched are waiting for us.